Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will have wall-to-wall coverage of the Daytona 500. Was that this weekend?
I guess it was. It is.
Yeah, it was Monday. It was this past Monday. Some other dude won that I've never heard of.
Oh, yeah. Or they'll be talking about that joke of an all-star game this past weekend.
I enjoyed the All-Star. This is the first All-Star game I've watched in years. I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch that garbage. 200 points being scored? That's ridiculous.
You know, I saw you in our Discord. If you're not following our Discord, check us out on Linktree, where you will have the link to our Discord. We talk all kind of stuff where I will be awake and on Discord probably by myself on Saturday morning for WWE Elimination Chamber, but I'm going to fire some shit off because I'll be up. But on our Discord, I saw you said no defense. And I see that sentiment a lot. And while I agree, like, they don't guard the basket as hard, like when people are driving in. But a lot of the shit that was happening, EJ, was like, naysayers was crossing half court, just launching and hitting that shit. Like, these motherfuckers were shooting from the logo at mid court. How do you play defense on that?
I mean, you can't really guard that. How often was that actually happening, though?
Man, they were shooting some. Didn't who won MVP? Lillard? I think he had like 10 threes.
From half court?
It wasn't from half court, but they were 3-pointers, and people were in his face.
I have to go back and actually watch it. So you positive people is actually in his face?
He was like coming off the dribble, shooting, like just trying to shake somebody, and they wouldn't do it, and he just put it up, and it was going in. And it was a lot of people doing that. Now, when they're coming down on fast breaks, they're playing like half-ass defense, and like when a motherfucker gets the ball in the paint, like nobody's really stepping up trying to stop them, like the Knicks and the Pistons from the 80s and 90s. But as far as like the shooting aspect of it, like these motherfuckers can shoot.
I mean, yeah. If you look at it, though, I mean, it is the best of the best. Of course, points are going to be put up, but 200 is pretty ridiculous. And, you know, not like football. Football, it's a physical contact sport, so you can't actually really play like that. But basketball is basketball. I think they should put some, like, higher implications and something on the line with the All-Star game, just like they used to do with MLB. They don't even do it with MLB anymore. Remember MLB, they used to put home field advantage on the line? That's what they should do. That's what they should do with the All-Star game.
But I think, you know, if I play for the Grizzlies, you know, and I'm the All-Star that's there, my team is shit. Like, I don't give a fuck who wins or loses and gets home court advantage. Like, I'm trying to get me a contract. And also, if LeBron James is coming down the court, like a fucking freight train, and it's just me and him in between the basket, and it's an all-star game, I'm not getting in that motherfucker's way. You serious? Like, I got a whole nother like 30 games to play. We're trying to win a championship. I understand, but I also came up in the era you did where we were watching like not Bird, you know, it's a little older, but like Magic Johnson and Jordan and Karl Malone and all these guys like going at it in the All-Star game. Like that one they had in Phoenix where they had that little ugly ass uniform with the cactuses on it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was a good one. The one Pippen won the All-Star game MVP the year Jordan left was a good one. Like those are days going by, man. We just got to get over it.
I get your point, like somebody from Memphis, but you don't see that happen too often. Usually when you're in an all-star game, your team's usually doing good. every once in a while you have like a guy who's putting up numbers that are just undeniable, and he's on a shitty team where they break through. But for the most part, people on good teams. So I think that would be dope putting something on the line like home court. I bet you most
Money.
bucks to play in.
They put some money on, like the NFL used to do the Pro Bowl. Like the winners got 100,000, the losers got 50,000, and it was in Hawaii. So it was like, I could cover the fucking trip for my whole family to come out here and not take it out of my not like, the players aren't rich as fuck already, but that's what everybody goes to work for, money. Like I drive safely at my job. Yeah, I get a yearly salary, but I also get a bonus every 3 months if I'm one of the top drivers in my company as far as safety, which I am every year, by the way, or every month, every quarter. But like, I still want that. I still want to be the best. So I mean, yeah, give them money, let them compete. But
I think they do get money for it, but those motherfuckers so rich they don't care.
yeah,
Just another drop in the bucket. But I mean, it
well,
is what it is.
like we were saying, 100,000, and I think it was like 40,000 and 20,000 in the NFL back in the day. But you're right, they do make so much more money now, but so do the owners and so do the leagues. So then up the purse for the winner. Like, whose money are you taking? Like, who are you hurting if you give them more money? Because now the fans are going to, I mean, the fans are there anyway, but it's going to be more exciting. There's going to be higher ratings. So now the TV deals are going to be better. Like, you pay the players more to get them to actually try. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they hadn't played defense in a while, probably since like the 2000s. But it is what it is. I actually watched the Saturday night though. I was in DC with my family for my niece's birthday, and we threw that up on. Had that split with the UFC fight, and that was pretty. The Steph versus Sabrina, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I missed out on that and I wanted to see that. And now that I know who won, like it wouldn't be fun to go back and watch it. But seeing the women compete with the men, like obviously they can't be in the dunk contest, right? Or they can't be in the all-star game. But when it's just shooting, like it ain't man or woman, like shooting is shooting. Like I like that shit. Fucking put them up against them. You got no advantage being a man shooting a fucking 23-foot jump shot over a woman. Like the
Yeah,
best is gonna win. I honestly wanted the women to win, but I mean, Steph is just fucking.
yeah. Steph, Steph actually had to work for it. Like it was a little margin for error. Because if he would have missed like a shot or two, he would have lost. She put up like 26, 27. He had to
Yeah,
get 29 to win. So
they'll put
yeah.
your girl Caitlin Clark in that in a couple years, won't they?
Ugh.
Oh yeah, you go on the. Who was it that said she wasn't that good? He's making news about. I can't remember who it was now.
But really, it was like a Shannon Sharper, one of those guys.
No, it was like a yeah, somebody like that. It was like an ESPN I don't know if it was Chris Broussard or I don't want to say the wrong person, but they were catching shit for it, saying that it might have been was it Jay Williams? I can't
Maybe.
remember. It was somebody like that was like, I don't think she's that good. Like she ain't a superstar until she wins a championship. And then I'm like, that's bullshit. But then I think,
Yeah.
man, y'all talk so much shit about my goddamn quarterback for the Cowboys. Hell yeah, put everybody on the list like that.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends the team around you. I think she's pretty much all Iowa has, but still don't like her just because
I
what
don't
she
know.
did to my team. But the dunk contest, did you get to watch that?
No, I have no idea who won. I stopped liking the dunk contest right after like Dwight Howard and Nate Robinson did their thing. To me, that was the last time it was fun.
Yeah, you've been away for like 15 years now. That was a while
Yeah.
ago.
I don't even know anybody like that comes in. I think the guy from the last one I legit watched, little light skinned dude from Orlando it won it.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was like 10 years ago now. That's even a while ago, but that was like a classic. Zach
Yeah.
Levine and Aaron Gordon going
Yeah,
back and
because
forth.
they put they put the All-Star thing on usually Valentine's weekend, which is a weird tradition, but I feel like anytime in my previous life that we would go like stay at a hotel for Valentine's Day, the All-Star Saturday night was on and like we had kids, so we would finally get away and it was just like we don't want to go fucking do anything. Let's just lay here. Like just get some fucking rest. And we fucking throw on the All-Star Slam Dunk contest and then put a movie on after. Like it was like a tradition every year for a while. But the last time we did that was when the guy from Orlando won, but I stopped watching after that because I had no idea who these people were.
Yeah, they have some stinker years, but Matt McClung, he's not even in the NBA. He won it back to back. He won it last year and this year.
Wait,
Yeah.
how's he winning the slam dunk contest if he's not even in the NBA?
They made an exception. He's in the G League. I think he has like two-way contracts. Right
Oh,
now,
he's in
yeah,
the, so he's technically in the NBA,
yeah,
just not in the NBA.
yeah. So
He's like if a practice squad guy in the NFL was to do something.
yeah, exactly. And I followed the kid back when he was in high school. I thought he would be like a little poor man's Russell Westbrook, but I guess his game isn't translating right now. But he still got hops. He last year was cleaner because he made all his dunks on the first try. He missed
Mhm.
a couple of attempts this year, but he still was the clear cut winner of it. Jalen
I
Brown
feel
was
like
garbage.
I feel like that's what kind of threw me off a lot with the dunk contest as well was all the misses. Like if you go and do a spectacular dunk and you miss, you just fucked it up. Like I don't want to see you try it 3 more times. Like in the days of, Jordan and um like I said, Dwight Howard, Baby Jordan, Harold Miner, Isaiah Ryder. What was Isaiah Ryder's nickname?
J.R.
J.R.
Ryder.
Ryder. The East Bay Funk dunk he did, like from what I remember, these guys wasn't trying 3 and 4 times to do it. They were just fucking
They,
doing it.
they weren't, but if you look back at especially the 80s, doing windmills and getting tens for it. The the difficulty level of the dunks keeps rising and rising. There's but so many things you could come up with. These guys are
Yeah.
doing more ridiculous. Of course, they're going to miss, but when they do get it on the first try, like you said, it looks more cleaner.
It's just like I'm the days of like Kenny Smith being a judge on the floor and him like coming up out of his seat with like Vince Carter. That year Vince Carter won was probably the most fun I've ever had watching a dunk contest.
That was dope. I didn't even get to watch live. I was like in 6th grade, and everybody at school was talking about it. I had FOMO for sure. But yeah, that's probably like the height of it, man. Because
Yeah.
they had got rid of it for like 2 years, and then they brought it back with Vince, and he went crazy.
When he did that dunk where he went up and put his whole fucking elbow in the rim, and you didn't even know what he did at first. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay, that's a cool looking dunk. And then he was hanging there. It's like, wait a goddamn minute. this motherfucking forearm is in the hoop.
Yeah, people didn't know what happened. Like if you go back and look at it, the crowd didn't really go crazy. I think maybe they showed it on the replay, and then people like started to put it together.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it at that time.
It's one of those things where they show the replay and you can start hearing the crowd go, oh, like everybody at the same time go, oh shit, look. He got his arm in there. But yeah, I don't know. Dunk contest kind of lost its luster for me. I did enjoy the NFL's skills competition though. Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I watched some of it. They had like the tug of war. Then they like split up the flag football. Like they took a break, then did some more skills, and then finished up the flag football. And yeah, I didn't get to watch it from the beginning. I think I missed some of the more fun ones. Did they do like a dash, like a 40-yard dash or something like that?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I mainly just saw like the quarterback competition and then the some of the flag football game. But I mean, they're trying. I'll give them that. Back in the day, we sound like some fucking old guys, or at least I do. But I remember back in like the early mid 90s, the Pro Bowl, they would have like the QB skills competition. And then for whatever reason, they did away with that. But like that was fun watching fucking Brett Favre and I think it was like Drew Bledsoe one year. They would basically let the quarterback see who could throw the ball the farthest. And I think Brett Favre threw that motherfucker like 74 yards to win.
Dang, he threw it that far?
He threw it. They started on one hand, they just threw it, and there was people down there marking it with a flag. And I want to say his was 74 yards from where he let it go at to where it hit the fucking ground.
I want to see it. They'll never do this because most likely one of the guys will probably be in the Super Bowl. Well, I'm not a big Josh Allen fan, but so maybe he could do it.
He'll do it every year.
Pat Mahomes and like Josh Allen do something like that. They probably got the two biggest arms in the league.
I mean, you only got 2 spots for the Super Bowl, so yeah, fucking get some guys. Not necessarily the long competition because you got these fucking sissy GMs and trainers and shit now. Like we don't want our quarterback to throw his arm out. Like he gets paid to throw the fucking football. Like what's throwing the ball as far as he can 5 times? Like relax. But the skills competition is good. Like trying to hit the targets while they're moving and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like the NBA. I don't even know if they did it this year, but they had a skills competition where you like weave around the buckets and shit, do a layup, shoot a 3-pointer. Like those are fun.
Yeah, they did that this year. I wasn't really paying attention. They had it split up into like teams, like I think first round picks, Indiana, because they hosted it, and then I forgot the other teams split up into maybe rookies or international. But yeah, like that makes it fun, makes people want to tune in. So I'm not mad at it.
Bet you didn't think you'd tune in the boot to the face and get NBA All-Star talk, did you?
I know, right? We do it all. Jack of all
Not
trades.
you definitely didn't think that the week when the most electrifying man in all of entertainment proclaims his loyalty. That's what the L stood for, loyalty. To the bloodline. The Rock in fucking a mix between Hollywood rock, corporate rock, and hill rock came out and just, you know what pisses me off, EJ?
What's that?
I'm a rock fan. You know this, right? So because he's heel or face, like I'm gonna like him. But what pisses me off is all these quote unquote Cody crybabies that were booing him and shitting on him. And you get on Twitter and like some of the shit people were saying, it's like the fucking disrespect they're giving the most electrifying man in sports entertainment is crazy, right? And they say all this, and then they get their way. Cody gets his title shot. The Rock's a heel now. And you got motherfuckers in the crowd chanting his name.
I mean, fickle in the words of Bryan Danielson, the former Daniel Bryan. I mean, you know how wrestling fans are. I don't know why this is shocking to you. Remember when he was an actual heel, like when they tried to present him as a face when he first got into the industry, they didn't want to cheer him until he started insulting them. Like people like to be abused for some reason.
Yeah, everybody's got this weird kink. It's like they pay money for MJF to like call them out of their name and shit like that. You know, and they're in a wheelchair and they're like, I'm gonna get MJF to call me a cripple. That's gonna do it. Like, really? That's what you want? Yeah. But I'll tell you this. I'm a big Cody fan. And I've come to the realization that Cody might be honestly like the most likable and like pure fucking babyface since like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. To where you can't not like the guy. You can't not. I mean, he's a little annoying sometimes, like using these big ass words he tries to use. But like as a babyface, when's the last time somebody's been like as clean cut as Cody is?
Man, I'm trying to go back in the mental Rolodex and think about that. You might be right. It might be like a Steamboat, maybe Surfer Sting, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sting would work too, but like we're nobody's like you don't hear boos when Cody comes out. He doesn't get the what chance when he talks. Like he's got everybody just fucking, even the people that don't like him, like they don't want to say shit because they're so fucking outnumbered that it's just like it's pointless. Like Cody's the most. I think Surfer Sting's a better one than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the younger fans. Like, and he's got the fucking blonde spiked hair. So
what about like Bret the Hitman Hart, like 95, 96?
No, Hitman had a little bit of unlikableness to him, which is why I liked him. He's arrogant, you know. I'm the best there is, the best there was. Like Cody's none of that. He's just a fucking. I want to win for my dad, you know. Like I'm gonna. Excuse me. I'm gonna come out and there's a guy in the crowd that's got a sign that says I'm blind, but I came to hear Cody. I'm gonna bring him in the ring and fucking give away tickets on Twitter all the time. Like, yeah, some of it's a little bit fucking gaggy, you know, like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like, and then people that are trying to do it too, like grown fucking men, like, I've waited my whole life to see Cody. Shut up. Buy a ticket. Like, you're 37. Like, buy a ticket. But yeah, Cody's just likable, you know, like it's almost annoying how likable he is, right? Like he's what the WWE wanted John Cena to be when he was a babyface.
And I was gonna bring that example up. John Cena, before they turned on him, like maybe the first year of his run before they turned on him. That's like one of the more recent examples I could think of. Just like white meat babyface, because the late '90s brought in like the shades of gray, the anti-heroes that weren't like white meat baby faces. Even Sting got the crow Sting. He wasn't just like a white meat baby face. I had an example that I was trying to think of, but it just lost my thoughts. Of maybe like, even though it's not, he was, he had the 420, but what, like a RVD, he was never like a heel like that, or like a
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio.
RVD used chairs and smoked weed and had Bill Alfonso with him. Like RVD had annoying traits about him. Cody's just fucking like, they have handled him really fucking well in WWE, to the point where all of the AEW people that booed him out of that fucking company that he helped start, like, nobody's booing Cody anymore. I brought up his last promo in AEW. He couldn't even get through the fucking promo. People chanting "shut the fuck up" to him.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make people miss you to make them appreciate you. Um, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but what are you doing, Darby Allin, cutting the promo like that to have somebody who's not even in your company get chanted like that? That was just stupid on his part, but I digress.
I mean, it was it though.
Yeah,
It in a way.
yeah, it was.
So
Yeah,
the psychology of it though is he was basically saying, "You guys suck." Like, thankfully there was somebody here that has some fucking sense, and y'all ran him out of town. And then the crowd picked up on it, and yeah, they chanted his name. But I mean, it ain't like it took over the fucking show or something like that. It's just a little Cody chant, and then it was over with.
yeah, but Cody doesn't need the rub. I mean, they don't
I
do
don't
that for
think
y'all over there.
I don't think Darby was trying to give him the rub or to get the crowd to chant his
Yeah,
name. I
yeah,
think he was just saying, like, thankfully there was an EVP here that hired me that wasn't just hiring his fucking buddies.
yeah. He didn't do it on purpose, but I don't think he thought about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people had a problem with it. I don't think it was that bad. I think it made the Bucks look like shit, which is what he was trying to do.
They make themselves look like shit. But back to the topic at hand. What about a Rey Mysterio as far as like white meat baby faces?
Yeah, but he wasn't Cody.
Yeah, I mean,
Ray didn't have that. Ray couldn't talk on the mic the way Cody does. Like Cody's got all of it. Like he's not the best in the ring, but he's good enough. He's not the best on the mic, but he's good enough. And he comes out in suits, which makes no fucking sense for his fan base because none of them dress like that and have a fucking tour bus and he brings his dog to work with him. Like in all actuality, like you should hate this motherfucker, right? Like, everything he does is just kind of fucking annoying, but it works for him for whatever reason.
yeah. And I'm just waiting for the floor to fall from underneath them, but it doesn't seem like it is. Who knows what happened once he win the title? I think that's the key. See if he can keep that momentum whenever he wins the title.
Well, you ain't got to worry about that at WrestleMania because his ass ain't winning.
Yeah, we got some weeks. I'm sure we'll make our official predictions, but a little bit of foreshadowing by Rucker.
I did the same thing last year. There's no foreshadowing. I'm telling you now, Roman Reigns is going to beat him. Like, that's it. Roman's going to win. Like, y'all might as well not even watch WrestleMania night 2 because you're going to be mad as hell. There's going to be a whole lot of motherfuckers. I'm canceling Peacock. No, you're not. I'm canceling Netflix next year. You're not. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, you cancel Netflix. It could happen.
Not because of Cody. I canceled it because they keep raising the fucking rates and ain't nothing on there but Love is Blind.
Hey, that show's kind of hitting. But
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. It might be the perfect store where they raise the price again and then they piss you off with what they do with the script. You're like, fuck this, I'm canceling.
Nah, wrestling that. If I could watch Triple H be racist to Booker T and win at WrestleMania, Triple H beat Sting at WrestleMania. What else was a big fucking travesty?
So let's talk about that. We talked about this before, but I guess it hit you a little bit more than it did me because you were that was 03. So you were 21 when that happened. I was like 16, well, 2003, 15. Like I didn't realize how fucked up it was until I got a little bit older. But like in the moment where you're like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Man.
When he won, we were at a WrestleMania party. I was just like, and you know, the majority of my wrestling fans are white that are around here, right? And even they were like, this is bullshit. Like, he was racist as fuck going into this. Like, how's he winning? I'm just like, that couldn't have fucking happened.
I mean, I just wanted Booker T to win. I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to the racial connotations to it, but looking back at it, of course, it was messed up. But
I wanted Booker T to win before the racial stuff started. Like when he eliminated The Rock in that Battle Royal, one, I wanted The Rock to win, but then I realized Rock was going to fight Stone Cold again. And for The Rock, that was bigger than fucking fighting Triple H for the world title, right? Because the world title was beneath the WWE title. It was still a world title, but it wasn't like the main one. And when Booker T won, I was like, fuck yeah, he's going to beat Triple H. And then when the other shit started happening, like all the extra shit, I'm like, he's got to fucking, like, I'm going into it like, hell yeah, Triple H is definitely losing to Booker T. Like, there's no way he said all the shit that he said and he's going to win. And then he won. I was just like, what the fuck? And then Booker T never, like, got his get back on him.
Man, he didn't win the world title till like 4 years later. So
he had to become King Booker.
Yeah, Vince didn't read the room with that one. I don't think he cared. He was just trying to pop himself, see what he could get away with. But
backstage popping something.
Yeah,
he probably wasn't even paying attention to what the fuck was going on.
Popping blue pills, popping individuals. What a creep.
But back to The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock comes out, cuts what I thought was a good promo. I know people have been dissecting it. Well, Cody won the Royal Rumble, so technically he can ask for a rematch. True, but what these people aren't acknowledging is the fact that Cody said, I don't want to fight you at WrestleMania, Roman. That's what The Rock's talking about. You stepped aside. You gave your title shot up. You fucking moved out of the way and said you didn't want to do it. And now you reneged on it. And now The Rock's got an attitude because in his mind, The Rock versus Roman Reigns is way bigger than Cody versus Roman. See that fucking family tree he put up there? Cody ain't got no family tree like that. It's fucking him, Goldust, and Dusty.
On another note, it took me until like 3 or 4 years ago to realize, I guess that was a play on his name, Goldust, Dustin Reynolds.
Yeah, I guess.
But I digress. Yeah. So where did I start with this? So when I was actually watching it, I watched it the next day and avoided spoilers. I'm like, man, this is great. He's cooking, man. And then I saw our buddy, Mr. Chaos, in the Discord. He was like, man, that was trash. I'm like, what you talking about? My boy, yeah. Rock was cooking. Then I looked back at it. I rewatched it. I'm like, it wasn't his most solid promos. He was mixing stuff up a little bit. I mean, he's a little rusty. He had to shake the rust off. And then going back to the point that you were talking about, he should have worded it different. Because if he would have worded it like you just worded it, you gave it to me. So you get to the back of the line, but he worded it like Cody didn't earn it. He did go back and re-earn it, but he gave it away. So he just worded it a little bit weird and brought up the Chiefs and the 49ers and get to the back of the line. But he earned it. He just gave it away. He should have said that.
I think
said it didn't make sense.
I think the point that they were trying to make is The Rock is so above Cody, like in his mind, him versus Roman is so much higher than that. Like, he don't give a fuck you won the Royal Rumble. Nobody care about that. You lost last year. Get your ass out of here. Like, you don't get a rematch. Like, this is the biggest match in the history. But here's the thing about social media. And this happens to the best. It happens to me. Like, sometimes I have to stay off of it. Like, I'll like something and everybody will just shit on it. And I'm like, maybe it wasn't that good. Like, sometimes it's just best to like not even look at other people's because I saw Mr. Chaos's comment too, and I'm like, this motherfucker tripping. Like, I even said, like, are you high? And he's like, well, yeah.
I was.
But I liked it. Like, I know some of it, quote unquote, didn't make sense, but man, we got The Rock like on weekly television right now. appearing just as much as Roman Reigns does. Not once every like 8-9 months. Like he's here now. Like The Rock. You know, like people can want Cody all they want to, but we also got to realize, like, we got the fucking Rock back. Y'all been wanting this shit for years.
Yeah, and kudos to The Rock, for actually diving into it. Seems like he's in it for the long. Not, I don't know about the long haul, but for this little season, this little run. But I mean, they're paying you $30 million extra dollars to get involved. You wouldn't turn that down, would you?
I mean, he ain't getting paid that to get involved. He's getting paid that to like go out and promote and be in charge. And
I thought it was he gets the 30 million incentive if he gets involved with storyline stuff.
I don't know. Like
I might be wrong.
I just heard he got $30 million in stock to join the board of directors. But I feel like the reason they got The Rock on the board is he's the most recognizable fucking person in the world. Like, who do you recognize more than The Rock right now? You know? Like, and now he's back with the WWE, not fucking I'll be at WrestleMania for 20 minutes. Like, he's with the WWE again. Like, it's his job. When he goes places now, he's a WWE board of director. When he's on movie red carpets and the AMA awards and the fucking, whatever other award shows in the movies and all the shit he does now, he's a WWE board of director. And now he has to talk like, and then this month at WWE, this is what we're doing. That's what they're paying him for. This shit on TV, he wanted to come back and wrestle Roman Reigns and it got fucked up. And he's just kind of riding the wave and going with it. And fucking kudos to him, because he could easily just be like, well, fuck them. Like, if they don't want me, I'll fucking leave. I'll go back to making movies. Like, whatever. I got a voice over Moana too.
Yeah, I gotta make another crappy Fast and the Furious. But yeah. I feel like since he is in this board of directors position, he probably doesn't have to make as much movies if he has in this source of revenue coming in. So maybe he will focus more on it. Maybe he's not gonna be on the road full time, but maybe we'll see Rock for the next 2 years or so involved with storyline stuff.
I mean, he's got enough money, like, to last the rest of his fucking life like 5 times over.
Of course.
Like, now it's to the point where it's just like, how much money do you need? So I think now he's at a point now where he can say no to stuff that he doesn't want to do. Like, he's got so many different businesses and ventures and shit. Like, and now he can take movies and just say, fuck movies. Like, I want to go back and wrestle. Like, I want to be on fucking, SmackDown twice a week and do a match or pay-per-view. Like, he's 51. He ain't got much tread left on the tire when it comes to wrestling. And he hasn't wrestled much over the past 20 years. So if he's really getting that fucking itch to come back, like, it's now or never, dude. You're 51 years old. You're not Sting.
Nobody's Sting. But, 51 is built a little bit different these days than the 90s. You had Ric Flair looking like he was 60 already in the 90s. But yeah, I get it.
The Rock can barely fucking, like, he's so fucking big. Like, he would have to lean. I think if he wanted to come back to wrestle, he would have to. And look, I'm not talking anything bad about The Rock's shape. Like, I wish I could look like that motherfucker. But how big he is just not a very mobile. He's not mobile anymore. Like, he's not Bobby Lashley, Like, Lashley can still fucking go. Rock came out, did a spine buster in the people's elbow. That motherfucker was huffing.
Muscle bound. I feel like Bobby is naturally built that way. I feel like Rock was just adding on the muscles. I feel like his natural was what you saw him in the early 2000s. At this point, he's just building on muscle upon muscle, and it's not pliable.
Well, on top of that, like, Lashley's been carrying that shit around in the ring for 20 years. Rock hasn't. Rock's been carrying it around to fucking movie sets. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's definitely for sure muscle. I don't know how practical it is as far as athletic ability.
Where do you think this storyline's going with Rock and the Bloodline? Like, there's a lot of online sleuths that said, Rock was pointing at Roman when he said, I'm going to make sure you lose. And he put the L up instead of the 1 and all this other shit. Like, do you think, because I'm gonna give you my theory, but I want to hear yours. Like, what do you think's happening?
Reaching, he just put it up just to put it. I don't think think people are overthinking that aspect of it. You know me, man. I think it's nerdy when people go into these ridiculous fantasy bookings, but it's it's nothing wrong with like thinking or laying out where you think the story's gonna go in the future. When you get too far in the weeds, that's when I think it's nerdy or whatever. And like, oh, this is gonna happen. Oh, this is gonna happen. This is just, and if he does this, like I've been hearing a lot of that on like podcasts and radio shows. I'm like, get a life. But I just think we're gonna eventually get Roman and Rock at some point. Rock is gonna turn on Roman. I don't know if it's gonna happen at Mania necessarily. People are already booking it for Mania, but you know, I think Rock eventually turns back babyface and we get Rock and Roman. I don't know what's gonna happen though.
There's a lot of throwback stuff that I'd love to see happen in this, like Roman being the Rock in the Nation, where the Rock thinks he's the leader of the bloodline, and Roman like gives everybody a Rolex and gives Rock or if Rock gave everybody a Rolex and gave Roman a fucking picture of him and the Rock, like I think that'd be funny, a cool throwback. But I feel like something's gonna happen and Roman's gonna talk Jimmy and Solo into fucking jumping the Rock and they'll kick him out eventually. And I don't think it'll happen before Mania, but I think that will be the downfall of Roman to where the Rock's gonna help Cody beat him later. And that'll set up Rock versus Roman. But up until Monday night, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, you know what would be a good like story to tell? If Rock and Jay had an interaction and Rock was trying to get Jay to get back in the bloodline and Jay just like Rock was trying to overbear and Jay slapped shit out of him like he did Cody. And you had Jay versus Rock at WrestleMania. I don't think that would have been a bad idea, but it's clearly Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania. I don't know. I think the bloodline thing started with Jay, and maybe it's just me and my affinity for Jay, but I feel like he should have a bigger role in this whole bloodline thing than what he does still.
I mean, they're slowly, putting them back in the storyline, and it's not like at the forefront, but it is putting them back because pairing them up with Jimmy. I guess that doesn't scratch your itch.
I don't give a fuck about Jimmy. Jimmy has cost my guy a fucking title 3 times now, though. He cost him the undisputed title, the Intercontinental title, and he was the reason him and Cody lost the tag titles. It's about time for Jay to whoop Jimmy's ass. So I feel like we gotta predict Elimination Chamber, don't we? I feel like at Elimination Chamber, Rock and Roman are gonna be there, and I think Jay's gonna roll up on Jimmy while they're all in the ring together.
See, I don't know if they're gonna be there, but I guess we'll get into that a little more once we actually talk about the car. But
yeah,
I'm not mad at Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I want more from my boy. Main event Jay Uso.
He'll still get there. I think, man. Like you are all for him having an IC title run. IC title, and Gunther's basically restored that to being like a stepping stone title, because I think once Gunther eventually loses that, he's off to the world title. But I think Jay is such a grizzled veteran where he doesn't even need that stepping stone title. All his years in the tag team, being a 10-time tag team, or 11, or how many times they won it was a stepping stone. I think you shoot him right to the world title, man.
Yeah, but if you look at like the history of tag team wrestlers that become single star, and honestly, I don't think Jay's gonna be a single star that long. That's why I want him to like get his shit in now, because I think in the next year or two the Usos are gonna be back together. But if you look at Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Edge, Booker T, these are guys that came from great tag teams, and when they became single stars, Booker T was a fucking TV and US champion before he got the world title. HBK, Bret Hart, all these Edge, they were all Intercontinental champions before they became world champions. Like when they went off on their singles thing, they had to work their way up. And I just feel like the guy that beats Gunther has to be the next guy. And I think somebody like Jay would be the perfect one for that. You know, people are talking about Dragunov and all these, but like nobody gives a fuck about Dragunov. You know, like we need a star to be the one to be. Nobody cares about Chad Gable. Chad Gable was cool, but he don't need to beat Gunther. Sami Zayn don't need to beat Gunther. Jay Uso needs to beat Gunther.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, but in the 2000s, they kind of like broke that mold where you had to do the IC. Brock went straight for the world title.
He wasn't in a tag team though.
True, he wasn't in the tag team. I mean, I guess yeah, Brett was and Shawn Michaels was, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, his name is Main Event Jay Uso, and if he were just to go for the world title, I wouldn't be mad at that. And he didn't have an IC title reign before that, but I say like that would be the perfect stepping stone for like a Braun Breaker, but I think he's on Raw. I mean SmackDown, so
Yeah.
so
I
I don't think
mean,
that happen.
you tell me right now, what's a bigger win at WrestleMania if you're Jay Uso? To win the world title from Seth Rollins or to win the IC title from Gunther? What's a more impressive and like bigger win? I know one's the world title, one's the IC title, but if we're just taking it for face value,
I still I still lean more towards the world title just because it's Seth and more eyes as far as like mainstream would be on that, but it's like barely slightly over Gunther just because the way he's been running roughshod on that intercontinental division the past year and a half or whatnot.
and I think that's why I lean more towards Gunther because he's got the longest reign ever in the history of WWE for that title. He's beaten the shit out of people. And Seth is hobbled. Like, hadn't really defended the title in a while. Like, his last title defense was against fucking Jinder Mahal. Like, if you look at who Gunther's beat and how he's beat him compared to Seth, like, obviously, winning a world title is bigger than winning the IC title. But as far as who you're beating, I think beating Gunther right now means more than beating Seth.
Yeah, looking from it at like a wrestling fan standpoint, yeah, just because like I said, the run that Gunther's been on, but I don't know. I feel like Gunther and Jay ain't main event in WrestleMania.
No.
Jay and Seth may not be main eventing, but it's on the short list on things that could main event. Like if you didn't have any option, like you throw Jay and Seth in there, that's a possibility of main event night one. Slightly
Gunther
under
and
Becky and Rhea.
Gunther and Jay definitely open night one or night two.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to be. If you're not the main event, you want to be the first one out there.
Yeah, it would be. But I mean, it
And
would be a
probably
big moment.
and probably steal the show.
Yeah. They had a hell of a match on Raw before your boy Jimmy got involved.
Spear that boy 5 times. I love the fact that he just took Roman's spear too.
Yeah, like low key just started doing it when they were feuding.
And now it's like his shit now. That's his prelude to he does a little rock punch where he spits on his hand. Also, like, I know I'm a big J guy, so it sounds like I'm just fucking jerking him off a lot, but I love his ring style too, like how he's fucking breakdancing while he's wrestling and shit. He's like mixing in Rikishi, mixing in The Rock, mixing in Roman. Like he's got like a family tree in his repertoire.
Yeah. He done a good job of mixing it up. And hey, besides Cody, he's one of the more over guys on Raw. Him, I mean, Punk is injured, so yeah, like him, and maybe a Sammy, top 3 guys on Raw.
You just brought up Sammy. I don't have this in my notes or anything, but I feel like Sammy's gonna turn heel on Cody.
Really? What makes you think that?
I don't know, just his little sit down interviews he's doing. I mean, they're doing that shit for a reason. He's lost his momentum that he had this time last year. I think it's time for Sami Zayn to go back heel. This time be a serious heel though.
You think he could pull that off?
Oh yeah. I think Sam's got range, man.
Eh, I don't know. I kind of like his slime ball chicken shit heel. I don't know if he's got the, and I hate to be like an old school wrestling guy. I don't know if he's got like the physical prowess to be like a serious heel that people take serious. But you got to try something new. I mean, what AJ Styles pretty much doing it, so Sammy could pull it off. But then what?
Yeah, I mean that's with a lot though. I don't know. I just feel like at, at WrestleMania, Sami Zayn might be the reason that Cody doesn't win.
I mean, I like the creativity behind it, as long as they kind of set it up within the next few weeks. Like if it would happen like out of nowhere, I'd be like, all right, now what are we doing? But
I
if
think they are setting it up subtly though with his little sit down interviews and him constantly talking about I want to be a champion this year and all that. I think subtly they are setting it up.
do you think if they would do that, Sammy could join the Bloodline again?
Nah, I don't think he joins the bloodline. I think he just turns.
It's just like a solo heel.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing it to join the bloodline. I think he's doing it for just disdain for Cody. Cody took his fucking spot last year. Cody's getting all the opportunities. He got sent back to the back of the line. His tag team partner got fucking traded to SmackDown. They never got a rematch for the titles. Like he's got a fucking, what do they call it? A villain backstory, not a backstory, origin story. He's got a fucking origin story. They just got to use it.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, I feel like with this world title being on Raw, now is the time to start letting people see what they could do with it. I don't like hot potato in like they used to do back in the Attitude Era where somebody would have it for a week. But you could have a 2 to 3 month reign, 4 to 5 month. Seth is coming up on a year quietly. So I think it's about time to see what somebody else could do with this world title. Give it some more lineage.
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like when somebody wins a title, you're like, all right, well, this is a champion for the next year. I don't
Yeah,
mind the hot potato titles. You don't have to do it all the time, but like have a guy win it and have it for 2 months and he lose on his third defense.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I like that. I don't like it where like the Kane thing where he lost it the next night back to Stone Cold. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like have 2, 3 months and like you said, lose it on his fourth or third title defense. Mix it up. Like I don't like David Arquette or Vince McMahon winning the title. That was stupid as well.
Yeah, people love shitting on David Arquette for winning, but they don't give a fuck about Vince being WWE champion.
That was stupid too. I don't know how that flies under the radar, but like you said, people forget about that.
He booked himself to be a WWE champion before he had an all black champion. Just throwing it out there.
Ain't that a bitch? It's Black History Month. Only positivity will be brought to
Man,
the show.
shout out to Kofi Kingston. That Kofi Mania run was so fucking good.
Yeah, I was shocked when Vince let that happen. I mean, people talk about Daniel Bryan, but that was right up there with it as far as like moments.
And Brian been on the other side of this one too, playing his part. Like, if you go back and watch that match, man, they had a good match at WrestleMania. But I just remember I was a New Day fan. I wasn't necessarily a Kofi fan. My ex loved Kofi because he could jump out of the fucking thing. She was always like, he jumped so high. Like, it was her thing about him. So she was always a big Kofi fan. So when he got a world title shot, she was fucking here for it. But I remember being like in the Elimination Chambers when I was just like, fucking Kofi, like, give him the belt. If you go back and watch that, I remember standing up in my living room, like thinking he was gonna fucking win, watching it, like nervous with my arms crossed, like I'm watching a fucking football game, and he lost, and I was just like, they got to put the fucking belt on him.
Yeah. And they did.
Yeah.
A travesty how he lost it. And looking back at the more recent news stories, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, I hate that his title run ended like that, but people shit on Kofi's title run. He had a good little 6-month run with the
Yeah,
title.
it wasn't bad. Defended it. We got some memes from Dolph Ziggler doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Shout out to Nick Neiman.
Monday Night Raw, besides the Jey Uso Gunther match, there wasn't a lot to talk about, but there was a moment where Michael Chandler from the UFC cut a promo on Raw. And TKO owns UFC and WWE, and a lot of people were worried about this. I'd love to get your reaction on how you feel about the little crossover that happened on Monday night.
So this is something that we brought up on Haymaker yesterday. But before I get into that, as far as actual promo, what do you rate that?
I mean, he's a UFC guy. Like, he didn't go to promo class and all that. I didn't mind it. You know what I was thinking?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to censor this shit. Like, he's gonna end up cussing. Like, when he took the microphone from her and grabbed it and turned around to the crowd, I was like, he's about to say fuck so many times right now. Like, but as far as actual promo ability, like, I liked it. I thought it was fine. Like, I'm like, yeah, Connor, fucking come out of retirement. Quit being a bitch.
Yeah. And as far as the actual crossover goes, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner. I mean, like we talked about, TKO is the parent company of WWE and UFC. I thought this would happen a little bit sooner, and I'm all for it, man. I mean, why not use one platform to boost the other one? Something I didn't bring up yesterday is CM Punk was at the UFC 298 this past weekend. I mean, I know he's a quote unquote former fighter there, but still he's a WWE employer. So, you had to back and forth. What are you about to say?
I wonder if he had PTSD when he walked into a UFC arena. Like, all of a sudden he just started like feeling shots from fucking, what was it, Mickey Gall. Whatever happened to that guy? Is he still alive?
Nah, they just brought him in for be the ringer to get Punk out of the paint. Him and Mike Jackson. Somebody named Mike Jackson. I mean, technically it wasn't a loss because it got overturned, but we all saw what happened. He put Paul.
Yeah, we saw him get his ass whooped. I didn't mind it, and people that are like, I don't want to see UFC and WWE together. How many times do you see UFC events where the Undertaker or Brock Lesnar or somebody's there? Brock Lesnar works for the WWE. He gets in the fucking ring trying to fight. What's the fat motherfucker's name? Black dude.
Mark Hunt.
DC.
Oh, DC.
Tries to fight DC, and John Jones calls him out and all that. Like, it's already happened before. So let's not make this a thing where just because they're under the same umbrella, all of a sudden they can't have crossover. Now, I don't want to see Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler at WrestleMania. But like, if he wants to get on TV in front of 3 million people, I don't think the UFC ever has an audience of 3 million people.
It's a different metric. They're on ESPN all the time on like regular free for like the fight nights. I don't know what those ratings garner, but they got pay-per-view buys. So
yeah, but it's not 3 million people. You're on USA Network now in front of 3 million people calling out Conor McGregor.
That's true. I mean, I didn't realize people were complaining about it on social media on the WWE side of things.
I think it was more UFC. UFC fans are fucking annoying, man. Like, shut the fuck up. This is our sport. We don't want to be tied in with pro wrestling. Pro wrestling makes so much fucking money. Like, go fuck yourself.
I mean, every sports or entertainment venue has like annoying fans that are like pretentious like that, and the UFC has the bottom of the barrel when it comes to like slime ball fans.
You don't see NFL fans being like, I don't want Monday Night Raw and SmackDown being advertised on my NFL game. Like, no, we don't give a fuck. UFC fans are the most annoying fucking people. All of them, like, they're like neckbeard wrestling fans with affliction shirts on.
Exactly. The bottom of the barrel for wrestling and MMA are pretty fucking annoying. But I mean, I like the synergy between the two because even though one's scripted and one's actual like competition, quote unquote, um, you see each sport take something from one another. I mean, how many people you seen at UFC cut WWE type promos and
Yeah, it's how you sell tickets.
yeah, that's how you sell tickets. And before UFC became bland with the Reebok, yeah, how they had the attire and the entrances they took from wrestling. And on the other side of things, wrestling, you see so many MMA moves in wrestling now with the knees and the submission. So
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's synergy. So if why not have your UFC fighter go on WWE and promote it if you're all underneath one umbrella? I'm all for it, man.
it's like the UFC fans are like the fans that follow a garage band and now the band's doing better and they're like, I don't want to do better. Why do they have to go tour with Metallica? I don't know, because they're trying to fucking blow up. Like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? I liked them when they were just when there were no weight classes and you could wear a fucking karate gi in the ring, and that's how far back I go. Congratulations, you're old as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
shut up. Like, what are we doing here?
And you talked about not wanting to see Conor and Chandler at WrestleMania. I mean, Floyd did it. Have it in the middle of the card. I'll put more eyes on your product.
He fought Big Show though. He didn't. It wasn't a UFC fight though. You know, I don't want to see Conor and Chandler at WrestleMania. I want to see them at UFC in a real fucking octagon fighting each other. I don't want to see him and Conor doing Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey.
Ah, tag team match. Miz always steps in for something like that. Have him tag with Chandler against McGregor and I don't know, Finn Balor. I'll put more eyes on the product.
WrestleMania anyway, because Roman told me he's gonna beat his ass if he shows up.
That's what he said.
You remember that shit a couple years ago? McGregor was talking shit about WWE. Roman was like, "Man, you're like the size of my thigh. Like I beat the shit out of you." And this is before Tribal Chief Roman. This is like fucking bulletproof vest, laser tag vest Roman.
I don't know if Roman really knows how to fight, but
He's
to put all that weight on it on McGregor.
He knows how to fight. He's Samoan. I think you just come out the womb when you're Samoan, like with hands.
Hey, I'll take your word for it.
You ever fought a Samoan?
What's that?
You ever fought a Samoan?
I don't even know if I know any Samoans personally.
Yeah, don't. I ain't never fought one either, but I wouldn't. if I'm at a bar and a motherfucker squares up with me and I start seeing all them Polynesian tattoos, I'm like, you got it. You got it. You want a drink? You want some Terramana?
Hey, like I said, I'll take your word for it. I'm not trying to squabble with a Samoan.
Let's talk some AEW real fast, EJ.
Mm-hmm.
You have in the notes Swerve and Hangman with a double turn. Whatever could you mean?
So I hope I'm not mixing my weeks up. Last week, Samoa Joe came down and cut a promo, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the double turn actually happened during their match when Swerve wanted 5 more minutes and Hangman said no. But I do think Hangman was way more heelish during that promo you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like kind of progressively getting to where Hangman is the heel and Swerve is the baby face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The crowd's buying into it too because Hangman's getting booed a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't want them to force because they already cheer for him. Like, why do like a hard face turn for Swerve? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then have we seen Hangman as a heel? He started off with the Elite, then he went on his own with the Dark Order. He's never really been a heel in AEW. Now that I think about it, I'm sure he did it. Was he in ROH? I know he's in New Japan. Was he in ROH too?
Was he a heel in ROH? I think when he was in ROH, he wanted to be a heel, but he was already in the Bullet Club. But I don't quote me on that because I wasn't really watching ROH like that. By the time I started finding Hangman, like people fucking loved him.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just feels like maybe they're doing this turn just to do it. And I just hope Swerve doesn't lose his edge by trying to pander to the crowd, which I don't think he will, but they might try to lean into it because, MJF, I mean, he's going to hit anything that he's given out of the park. But I don't know. Some of MJF's baby face stuff was a little cringe to me. Of course, he's a natural heel, but I just don't want them to water down the Swerve character. But I don't know how you felt about it.
I'm digging the Swerve as a babyface as long as he doesn't change who he is and what he's doing. Like you don't have to break into Hangman's house and threaten his baby, but you also don't have to fucking start kissing babies either, right? Like you can still be Swerve and people like you. And I think he wins at Revolution. Like I shouldn't say I think he wins. I think he should win at Revolution. And Samoa Joe should be the quickest AEW world champion because we don't need to. We just talked about this. I don't want a champion to win a title. And I'm like, well, for the next 8 to 12 months, this is the motherfucker that's going to win. Like, they need a short champion.
Yeah, I feel like Samoa Joe, I mean, it may be designed like this. He's kind of chopped liver in this feud. I feel like it's just a continuation of Swerve and Hangman. I don't know, like you feel like Joe is just there.
I mean, look at across the street. You know, Rock's not even in the title match, and Roman's just kind of nobody's talking about Roman Reigns right now. Sometimes as a champion, you do take a back seat.
I mean, are they not talking about Rock? I feel like
It's just all about Rock and Cody right now. If you're not talking about The Rock joining the Bloodline, you're talking about Cody facing the Bloodline. Nobody's really giving a fuck about Roman right now.
yeah, I get that to an extent, but like I said, it just feels like Samoa Joe got inserted into these guys' beef. Man, I'm with you. I think they should put it on Swerve. I don't know. I just don't believe in Tony Khan that he will have balls and pull the trigger. I think they're gonna try to prolong it and have Swerve go 1-on-1 at Double or Nothing.
I'm fucking excited about Revolution now.
Yeah, man. Everybody's been paying attention, rightfully so, for at the WrestleMania bill, but low key they've been like doing a good job of not announcing everything the week before. They've been building some stories up. I think they got like 5 or 6 matches already announced for Revolution, even though
I
it
mean,
is right around the
off the
corner.
off the top of my head, you got Deanna versus Tony Storm, which is going to be good. You got Swerve, Hangman, and Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Sting and Darby versus the Bucks. Is there anything else that's been announced already
Cassidy and Rod Strong.
at Revolution?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
How you gonna forget your boy Osprey, the aerial
Oh
assassin?
fuck yeah! Will Ospreay's wrestling. I've seen. So I've seen Osprey in person. Marty reminded me of this
Mm-hmm.
when we were at MSG for Supercard of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely drunk though. Like I don't remember a lot of that night.
Yeah, and he was cooking like he was right
Oh
now
no,
though.
dude. I didn't even like him back then. Him and Zack Sabre Jr. were on the same fucking shit list with me back then.
Times have changed though.
Yeah, I'm a big Osprey guy now. Zack Sabre Jr. can suck my dick though. I don't like that guy.
He's polarizing, but I feel like it's another match that we're not thinking about. Maybe like a Moxley or something on there. Maybe they haven't announced that yet. Yeah,
Moxley and Cesaro right now wrestling FTR.
I forgot. It's Wednesday. Dynamite's on. Usually got NXT on it right now.
Yeah. That's why I'm able to concentrate because it's not NXT, it's fucking Dynamite.
I'm like, they know what they're doing. Did you watch NXT yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was a backstage segment. Who was it? Oh, it was Thea Hale and what's it? JC Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this random girl that popped up next to them?
Isn't that the chick with the family, the Italian chick?
No, that wasn't her.
I'm drawing a blank then.
It wasn't. It wasn't her. The one you talking about with Tony D'Angelo. Her name was
Yeah.
Rizzo. Her
Yeah.
name is Rizzo. That wasn't Rizzo.
Rizzo got her ass kicked by Jada Parker last week.
Yeah, she did. But like, where are these girls popping up? I'm like, where'd you come from?
I've been telling y'all for years, Shawn Michaels a piece of shit, man. Shawn Michaels a creep.
But yeah, I'm not complaining.
Oh
But
no,
and then
me either.
uh I think what's not Cesaro. Uh who's the guy with the snake? He used to do the snake with the hand puppet. Italian dude, won the Intercontinental Champion.
Santino?
Yeah, his daughter. I think she's ready made for. I don't know how good she is in the ring because she barely wrestles. I think she's ready made character wise for the main roster.
Yeah.
She got the chops.
Which one is his daughter?
Ariana Grace, the beauty pageant queen.
Okay. Just real quick, a graphic just popped up on AEW. Tonight they have Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage fighting Hangman Page. I'm just drawing a blank on his tag team partners now, but a group of heels.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian Cage is a heel also, and so is Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That's teaming with Swerve. No, Hangman's teaming with fucking uh Hook. Hook and somebody else. So they still got Hangman booked as a fucking babyface.
I told you they're like, it's weird how they're doing it. It's almost like a slow burn, but not a slow burn. It's weird. Who knows, man? Because like you said, Hangman was saying some heel stuff last week, and then he wouldn't give him the 5 minutes, but now they got him teaming up with Hook. I don't know, man. I did not know.
AEW does some dumb fucking shit when I'm watching right now in the ring with Dax and Cesaro. They just
is FTR versus Blackpool?
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that.
I won't tell you who wins or whatever. They just do some shit in the ring that makes no fucking sense, man.
What? Yeah, you got a point. But one match we forgot though. You'll love this. It's Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson for the Continental Crown.
I was about to shit on this match so hard, but my boy Bryan Danielson's wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, this is last year wrestling full time, so enjoy it while you have it. They should only add like 2 more matches. Have it at 8.
Yeah, I don't want to be there all night. Like I'm there for Sting. I'm not there for all that other shit. I don't want to see no fucking 45-minute time limit draw, 5-minute Dave Meltzer classics. None of that shit. Let's move this shit along and bring the Stinger out here.
Oh, you're gonna get 5-star classics, and you're gonna enjoy the hell out of them.
I don't want to be burnt out by the time Sting gets out there. You know, I don't want to be drunk by the time Sting gets out there because I might cry.
Is Sting main event for sure?
If Sting doesn't main event, me and Tony Khan might main event.
If Sting doesn't main event, he might be retaining. If he's main event, he'll be looking at the lights. I don't think you want that though, right?
You can't send the crowd home with Sting losing.
Yeah, we'll send the crowd home happy. We all be cheering for Sting.
Yeah, then he loses and everybody's pissed off.
We'll be cheering though once he gets off the canvas.
Nah. Sting ain't losing to the Young Bucks.
Okay.
He's gonna come out and fucking turn the belts over on Wednesday Night Dynamite when I'm there in Duluth, Georgia. The shittiest fucking wrestling event in the state.
You're turning right back around and you're going to Dynamite a couple of days later.
Yeah. I'm all elite that week, EJ.
We got to make a graphic for you.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Rucker is all elite. Let's get on that. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think this is like it's this and Full Gear that are like pay-per-views, like it's a bonus. Like if it ends up being good, it's like a bonus. Double or Nothing and All In is like, where they really put all the chips in. No pun
I think
intended.
Revolution was good that year in Orlando. We went to
Yeah,
it.
it was good, but like I said, it's not. I don't think they promoted it as like their flagship pay-per-view.
They should. It's only 4 of them a year.
You know how many they added last year, so that's not the case anymore.
These are their big 4, though.
Yeah, of course. So,
all right, EJ, let's get to a new segment we got here.
let's do it.
The Rock came back this week dressed in his Rock garb, and I thought, you know what we should do weekly? We should do a segment called Street Clothes of the Week. Who was the best dressed professional wrestler in any television that you watched with regular clothes on?
Oh man, I thought we were talking about wrestling gear. I'll do it on the fly though. Let's get it.
And I know you're thinking you're gonna pick The Rock, Rucker. I'm not. You know who I think the best dressed wrestler was this week?
Who's that?
The EST. There's something about the women wrestlers when they're not in their wrestling outfits. They just look, she didn't even look like the same person. But Bianca Belair can dress her ass off. She's been doing it for years. I think Sasha Banks would have won this award a lot back in the day, too. But the first ever street clothes of the week, my pick, Bianca Belair.
Man, I have to scramble in because I thought we were talking about ring gear.
I mean, you can pick whatever you want. We'll call it street clothes of the week, but if you want to pick, I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that defeats the purpose.
I mean, you got Cody.
Oh, I know who I'll pick.
You got Roman out there in his sweats as always.
I'll pick Miss Toni Storm, the garb she was wearing when she got her new tattoo. I thought that was pretty fly.
She's so funny. She is so funny. They cannot take the title off her and give it to Deonna. Deonna Purrazzo should be a heel, by the way. She's booked wrong in AEW. Everything about her is a fucking heel.
I mean, we know after she loses, she'll go to the back of the line. So do it then. That's what they did with Ty Valkyrie. As soon as she was done with her TBS feud, they made her heel with her husband on Ring of Honor, which nobody watches.
Honorable mention for street clothes of the week, Nick Aldis. This guy looks phenomenal every fucking week.
You think he's a friend of the show via his wife, so yeah.
I think the ties and the vest and all that, like the 3-piece suits, I think he fucking ties it together well every week.
Well, I'll say this respectfully. Looks like he could get it tailored down a little bit more. Looks a little Steve Harvey-y, and I say that respectfully. He's a big dude, though. He's a big dude, so
yeah, it's a lot of material to cover that big motherfucker up.
Yeah, shout out to Nick Aldis. I feel like Triple H kind of took the juice from the general managers with him. Like, I think we talked about this last week, throwing those veil shots at The Rock or whatnot.
Yeah, and then his punk ass didn't show up.
He didn't. He didn't want
Paul Heyman said, "I'm gonna be back next week with Roman Reigns and The Rock." Triple H said, "I'm looking forward to it," and then called out. motherfucker didn't even show up on SmackDown. By the way, I love all the stuff coming out like behind the scenes at the fact that The Rock and Triple H still don't like each other.
That's what they're saying?
They've been saying it for years. Triple H and Shawn Michaels like tried to bully The Rock when he was up and coming. Like Bret Hart tells this story a lot. Other wrestlers have. That's why that's why Shawn Michaels and The Rock never wrestled each other. Shawn Michaels said he didn't want to wrestle him because they were trying to bully him because they knew he was the next up and coming guy. But the coach was on Busted Open this week, and out of nowhere, he was like, "Bully, me and you both know this. Triple H and The Rock don't like each other." And he talked about The Rock coming back to do a segment once, and how The Rock told him, like, "We only got 12 minutes. We're using 20." And the reason that he wanted to do it, one, was because he was trying to entertain everybody, but two, because he fucked over Triple H, because Triple H was the next person out there, and his time got cut. So apparently they've never liked each other. And honestly, if I'm The Rock, fuck Triple H.
Hey, they hide it well. I mean, next to Stone Cold, that's probably The Rock's biggest rival. I mean, you couldn't tell. I mean, you can tell because
Yeah.
they on screen it looks like they hate each other. So maybe real
It
life,
wasn't, yeah, wasn't hard to play that role.
yeah, I was gonna say real life animosity fueled that. But later years they kind of did like the comedy behind stage, a clip that rolls when Triple H was Ball at the time, where they were backstage and they were like kind of doing the playful jazz back and forth. So I thought it would have probably been water under the bridge. But like you said, he never liked HBK. Yeah, he wouldn't even put his name in his Young Rock show. He used like a Chad Frost or something like that.
Yeah, fuck them. I love the petty stuff. They were assholes back then. Fuck them. Now you're the guy. You're supposed to be the bigger man just because you're more popular. Fuck them. And now you're this guy's boss.
Technically, yeah. Yeah, the board of directors put the officers in place. Triple H is an officer. So you are right about that. But I get it. But when it comes to work, of course they'll both be professional. But yeah, like you said, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of spiciness in there.
We'll skip the power rankings this week, EJ, just because we got to do this elimination chamber prediction.
Let's see. I want to skip these power rankings. Or you want to do a speed power ranking?
We can if you want to. I don't have shit for power rankings, but we can.
All right.
I can come off the top of the dome like I always do. You just go ahead and give me your top 5.
So honorable mentions, because I didn't watch NXT yesterday, but the week before that, Braun and Baron, they won the tag team championships. Number 5, Raquel Rodriguez. She qualified. She came out of nowhere to qualify for Elimination Chamber. It is what it is. Number 4, my boy Logan Paul put on that good match on SmackDown. Who did he face again? Miz.
Shout out to the Miz and Maurice, man. I don't think we've talked about that. You know what I'm talking about with her diagnosis?
Yeah, she got diagnosed with what was it again?
It's a rare, and I apologize if I'm reporting something that's not true, but I read this a couple places. She got diagnosed with some kind of rare form of cancer, and she has to get a total hysterectomy. And if it doesn't work, they're giving her a year to live after that.
Jeez, I didn't know it was that serious.
And that's, again, if that's wrong, I apologize. That's what I've read on multiple wrestling websites and stuff like that. So if that's wrong, I apologize. But as far as I know, that's what the diagnosis was. So, hopefully everything goes well with that. Shout out to the Miz for still fucking working through all this, because your woman only has a year or so to maybe. You don't want to be on the road for it.
Yeah, so prayers up the Mizan family, and we wish her a speedy recovery. But I had Paul at 4, Orange Cassidy for that death match against Matt Taven at number 3. McIntyre beat Cody. I think that's Cody's only 3rd loss since he's been in the company. So Drew McIntyre. And then Gunther retaining against Jey Uso. That's my number 1.
My number 5 is the Wolf Dogs. Shout out to my homeboy Baron Corbin. I love Baron Corbin. I think he's a criminally talked shit about and misjudged by the IWC. So fuck you guys. Baron Corbin's the man. Number 4. I'm not putting Raquel Rodriguez on there. I just don't like the fact that she just walked back in and now she's in the fucking chamber match. Number 4 is The Rock.
Okay.
The return of the heel Rock. He ain't got to wrestle. He's The Rock.
Versace vest.
Yeah. Number 3 would be Tiffany Stratton. She still ain't hit the clean moonsault yet, but she got another big win on SmackDown.
She gets like all knee, which is weird. And it's weird the music. I like her old music.
It's weird that she's hitting the moonsault fucked up while she's on the main roster when she was killing it in NXT.
Yes, she was.
But shout out to her, not only getting a big win, but they're giving her some fucking TV time. She rolled up in the fucking Nick Aldis Jade Cargill meeting, started talking shit to Naomi and who else was there? Is it Mia Yim?
I don't know.
No, Liv Morgan. Talking shit to them, My number 2 was your number two?
I had Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. So my number two is Gunther for beating Jey Uso in the IC title match. And number one is Drew McIntyre. Gets a pinfall victory over Cody. A little bit of nefariousness going on, but what's Drew supposed to do? Go beat up the bloodline? Fuck no. I'm hit this nigga with this Claymore. I'm gonna get my 1, 2, 3 and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Before they jump me.
Yeah.
I've seen this story before. I'm not
Yeah.
fucking
And fighting other people's battles. What
right.
he look like.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's our power rankings.
Yes, sir. We got Elimination Chamber this weekend.
Elimination Chambers this weekend, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, EJ, 4 a.m. your time, 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Your boy will be awake at 5 a.m. with a Bloody Mary and a bagel, and I'll be watching because I like waking up early and seeing this shit. Like, this is why I want to move to the West Coast.
I mean, yeah, you were talking about as far as like football, but this is too damn early, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it.
Even if you don't, you fucking wake up, you stay off social media, have your breakfast, throw the shit on, start it from the beginning. Like, that's perfect. Even if I don't wake up and watch it live, like if I wake up at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna start this shit at 8 o'clock.
I might not just go to sleep and just stay up and then go to sleep afterward.
Y'all hear this? This how y'all know EJ's still a young party goer. I might not even go, so I might just come home and shower from my night out and just watch it all night. That's what he's saying.
I'm not going out. I'll just catch up with some video games or something. I don't get to play those often. Just stay up and then, but the pay-per-view will last probably 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Go to bed at like
There ain't
7.
but 4 matches.
Exactly.
But there is a Grayson Waller effect featuring Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
Or Grayson Waller. I mean, having a spot in general, is always the goal, but he didn't get to wrestle in his home country.
He's got Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes on his fucking talk show in his country. Like, I'd rather be doing that than wrestle.
Yeah, but he's gonna be an afterthought. I'm sure some things gonna happen during that, but go ahead.
Especially with Rhea wrestling that night. Like, she's a bigger star than he is, but he's gonna come out to a fucking hero's welcome. And he's gonna host Cody and Seth. Chances are the Rock and Roman are gonna show up on his show. He's gonna be able to interact with them. Like, I don't think this is I feel bad for Bronson Reed.
I don't feel bad for him. Although he's my cousin, but yeah. Look at the people in the match. He didn't belong.
Nah. Elimination Chamber match for World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 40. We have Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. EJ, is there any chance anybody not named Drew McIntyre wins this match?
Man, as much as you might not want to hear this, I think LA Knight is the dark horse, but I don't see that happening. I mean, like you said, sometimes it's not bad being predictable, and storyline wise, it just makes too much sense for Drew to win. So that's what I got winning.
My dark horse is Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, rematch against Seth.
I wouldn't be mad at it either. But yeah, I think Drew wins this one. Which leads me to believe, like, what the fuck is Randy Orton doing for WrestleMania? Logan Paul?
I have no clue.
Yeah, he came back. He came back to all this fanfare. LA Knight, he can't even be LA Knight now if The Rock is there because it's too much alike. Like, it's gimmick infringement.
I want to see those two interact.
I don't. I saw it on that TV show.
I'm all for it. But yeah, I don't know what Randy does or Bobby. I don't know what Bobby does because he wasn't even on WrestleMania last year.
Neither was LA Knight.
That's true.
Elimination Chambers match for World Women's Championship at WrestleMania 40. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. I'll tell you what, besides Raquel, this is a very star-studded. The men's chamber match is a star-studded match also. Like they didn't put any fucking scrubs in here. There's people you don't think have a shot at winning, but this is a star-studded elimination chamber, both sides.
Yeah, so I only got one dark horse in this one, and I think it is Bianca Belair. She's my dark horse, but I'm gonna go with the favorite in this one. It just makes too much sense for Becky Lynch to win this, so that's what I got.
I'm a little bit nervous as a Becky Lynch fan because every time something like this happens where it's like clearly Becky's gonna win, she doesn't win. Like how many fucking Money in the Bank matches is she supposed to win? You know, and she never wins. Um, I'm picking Becky, but if I had to pick somebody that wasn't Becky, I'd pick Liv Morgan. With
Why?
her little revenge tour. Like she's got a reason to fight Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know, man. It's just something's off about Liv Morgan. She doesn't do anything bad, but she's just there, in my opinion. She looks good, like physically, but I don't know,
Definitely.
man. I don't know, man. It's just she's just there. I think she just needs an overhaul on her character. I don't really know, like she's on her revenge tour, but then what after that? Do a Tony, not a Tony Storm like copycat, but like overhaul your persona and do something out of the box.
What's wrong with her persona?
She's
At least she,
underdog.
at least she quit doing those fucking glitter tears underneath her eyes all the time.
That's a start, but
Yeah.
she's not all the way. She's not all the way there.
She doesn't need to be an underdog anymore. She's a fucking Money in the Bank winner and a former women's champion. She's got 2 victories over Ronda Rousey. Nobody else can say that. She ain't a fucking underdog anymore. She's here.
Exactly. So I need something more.
I agree with you with that. You're right. You're not a fucking underdog. You're a former champion and you beat Ronda Rousey twice. Like that underdog shit is for the birds now.
Uh,
It's time for you to get in the ring with Becky and Bianca and Rhea and hold your own against them instead of being the little sister.
and she's got the tools. I just need her to get over. Look at Becky. Becky doesn't hasn't had a title in what 2 years now, and she's still the most popular woman on the roster. Bianca's right there too. Like Bianca's still wildly popular. I think Liv Morgan she still needs to take that next step, but I'm not mad that you have that as the dark horse, but would you be surprised if you saw Bianca win? And they've been clamoring for her and Rhea to face each other at Mania.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
I just don't, want them to get too cute and have Becky lose. Like, what if they tried to do Becky and Nia at WrestleMania?
You know, I would hate it, but The Rock is back. You can't get everything perfect. You know, WrestleMania's 2 nights. You can't have everything at one WrestleMania.
Yeah, because if Bianca doesn't win, what do you do with her at WrestleMania?
Jade?
Nah, you wait for that.
Jade and Bianca versus the Kabuki Warriors?
You definitely could do that, but you'd have to get started soon. It's almost March.
They don't need a build for that.
I mean, they don't, but you like to still see something happen besides Jay just pop out and point to the WrestleMania side.
I mean, you could have Bianca, come out and say, I don't have a WrestleMania plan right now. I lost, blah, blah, blah. Cutting a woe is me promo and just have the Kabuki Warriors jumper. And have Jade fucking run out of Nick Aldis's office and come help her. And then them two just kind of look up at the sign and look at the Kabuki Warriors, and there you go.
You have it. Booking 101. I can send an invoice to Boot to the Faces, P.O. Box.
I mean, they are hiring.
True. But yeah, I got Becky winning this one.
Same. Undisputed Tag Team Championship. I hope this opens because I might be making my coffee and my Bloody Mary when this happens, but I don't really give a shit about this match. Uh, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, like I know people love them, but I don't care. You know, I don't care about British strong style. I don't care
Yeah,
about I don't care about Pete Dunne manipulating your fucking joints and acting like he's breaking your fingers. Like he's still Butch. And mama named Butch, I'm gonna call him Butch.
that's but his name wasn't Butch. That was Vince's weird idea. What
It's
when
not the
you
point, EJ.
when when you like to see Pete Dunne uh versus not Osprey, uh other
Balor?
guy. Huh?
Finn Balor?
No. Uh
Zack Sabre Jr.?
Zack Sabre Jr. Both don't they both do joint manipulation?
Man, I take Pete Dunne over Zack Sabre Jr. any day of the week.
But yeah, I feel like naming him Butch kind of bastardized him, and now he's trying to get the juice back because like he was putting on bangers his original NXT run, but like you said, it's just there. I don't really care about them either, and I'm gonna pick the Judgment Day. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a title change, but I'm picking the Judgment Day just because I feel like Money's in Truth and Miz right at WrestleMania,
Yeah,
the
I
tag team
think so. I
belts.
think so too. Uh, give me Judgment Day. And now the main event, the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Nia came out there just wrecking shop the other night.
Yeah, destroyed everybody in the chamber.
Everybody. She said, fuck your Elimination Chamber.
I liked it, but like, how you trying to sell these 6 women in the chamber that just got their ass beat by one woman?
That's a bad motherfucker, dog. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
You were never the biggest Nia Jax fan, though.
I wasn't a Nia Jax detractor either, though. I was kind of indifferent.
Yeah,
I think she's been good since she came back.
yeah.
And I
I mean,
think, without any kind of like body shaming type energy, she's lost a little weight. And I think she's controlling her body a little better now to where things that she used to do look and seem a lot better than what they used to now that she's kind of toned down a little bit.
yeah.
That's about as delicately as I could put it.
But she still got that imposing aura about her
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, and it's working. I think she's still a little robotic on the mic, but I guess she is what she is at this point.
So is Rhea Ripley, though.
Yeah, she is. But
Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley, most overrated women's wrestler right now. Going,
I mean, just because she barely wrestles. But
that'll
I
do it.
mean, the fans like her, so what do I
She's not,
know?
she's not good on the mic.
She's not bad. She's gotten better in the Judgment Day.
She's not good.
But yeah, I mean, that's one thing I like about the Triple H era where everything makes sense and the storylines are fluid. But one thing I don't like is like these like pay-per-views, these like ones in between the major ones. Like you really don't expect nothing crazy to happen. Like we probably pretty much predicted all the results for the card. Like I don't see anything surprising as far as you know potential things that happen at this pay-per-view.
I will say though, you're right, but they do when they go overseas to other countries, they do have something big happen. Like you had Jimmy super kick Roman
Mhm.
and after their match and the bloodline kind of fracture. You had the Usos fucking pin Roman Reigns over there and Bad Bunny. Like they've created these moments. So while 99% of it's been predictable, there's still memorable stuff to where these people are getting their money's worth when they come to their country. So I'm expecting a good show on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, even though the results, as far as the matches are predictable, they usually throw like something big that'll progress the storyline. So I do dig that. I don't know if I officially predicted, but I got Rhea Ripley winning this match.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. And I think they'll be stupid if they bring Becky out to confront her because that'll basically turn Becky Lynch heel. Oh my God.
Man, AEW. Don't spoil it for me.
Fucking Ric Flair.
uh, you knew this was gonna happen. He's probably gonna interfere at Revolution, to be honest.
This motherfucker has the biggest old man ears I've ever seen in my life. His ears have an ear.
He's old. They say that keeps growing when you get old. Your ears get bigger and longer.
Two things never stop growing on your body: your nose and your ears. And when you're 143 years old, like Ric Flair, you got some big ass ears. He probably heard me just now.
All the way from wherever they're at. I mean,
Yeah, I don't even know where they are, but he's in range.
I mean,
like,
this man's living on his 8th life, so it is what it is.
Why is he there?
Yeah.
It's just fucking annoying.
That's Sting's guy.
Also, you got Flair working for AEW, right?
Mm-hmm.
But The Rock just announced he's doing a documentary with Flair.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of documentary?
Doing a documentary on Flair's life and wrestling thing. It's all over X and shit like that. And now Flair's on AEW. The Rock's on the fucking board of directors for.
I mean, we've seen it though. They let Jericho, AEW lent Jericho over for that podcast or whatever with Stone Cold. So I'm sure Ric Flair doesn't have the standard AEW non-compete or whatever. But didn't they just had like a Peacock Ric Flair documentary like that dropped like last year. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, he's had like 5 documentaries. He had the fucking ESPN 30 for 30.
The ESPN one, yeah, as well.
Like, how many times are we gonna try to act like he wasn't a fucking pervert and try to paint him into being this glorious fucking wrestler? Like, Ric Flair was a piece of shit.
Hey,
I wonder if The Rock's gonna interview Teddy Long.
Yeah, we all saw that one. I mean, all I can say is better him than Terry Bollea.
Oh, fuck them both.
But yeah, man, like you said, it should be some good wrestling this weekend. I may stay up. If not, then I'll get up early and hopefully avoid the spoilers. And let's go.
Yeah, you fucking try not to watch Rampage. That way you fall asleep.
Hey man, Rampage is a sneaky good watch sometimes.
I'm digging the Willow, Statlander, and Stokely thing. Yeah, I feel like Statlander's like turning towards Stokely.
I feel like they should just make them a full-on couple. Might as well.
Or at least hint at it. They don't necessarily have to. Kind of like Rhea and Dominic. You never seen them like making out, but you just assume that they're a couple.
That's because I don't want no smoke with Buddy. He knows better.
TNT Championship at Revolution, Daniel Garcia and Christian Cage.
1-on-1?
So they took Edge out of the match, huh?
I dig it. Have Edge and Christian Vegas.
I'm not mad at it because I don't fucking like Edge. I think Edge is boring as shit. So if I ain't gotta watch an Edge match, I'm fine with it.
Mr. Adam Copeland. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like what's going on with the mid-card titles in AEW right now because they got it on veterans that don't need it. Eddie Kingston doesn't need it. Cassidy is already established. He doesn't need it. Christian doesn't need it. So I say you pull a trigger with Garcia. Just have Christian and Adam Copeland be like a blow-off specialty match at Double or Nothing. No title on the line.
Nah, you gotta have Edge beat him for the title.
Why? He doesn't need a TNT title. 50-year-old Adam Copeland need a TNT championship.
I mean, Sting's 65 and he's a tag team champion.
He deserved it. He was undefeated.
You're right. Sting deserves it and Edge doesn't because Edge sucks. I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely. Christian's way better than Edge. Always has been.
I don't have anything against Adam Copeland. But he doesn't need a belt where you have this bloated roster with young, hungry lions that could use the rub with a mid-card title.
What's the point of Tony Schiavone doing an in-ring interview when everybody he interviews just takes the fucking microphone from him and he just stands in the corner?
I think that's kind of funny. It's like a running gag.
Like, why do they even do it? Why don't the people just come out and talk? Like, why do you have Schiavone? You know, like nobody took the microphone from Mean Gene back in the day. Like, if you want to do a old school type interview. Like, quit taking the fucking mic. Like, Tony should get mad at somebody. Just give me the goddamn microphone back. Answer the fucking question.
He don't want to get fined again, like the Bucks were about to fine him last week.
When you see this, you're gonna laugh and see what I'm talking about. Like, Shivani's literally just standing in the corner with his arms crossed. Like, why am I even up here? Y'all made me get up and get in the fucking ring, ask this guy half of a question, and he just takes the goddamn microphone and says what he wants.
That's hilarious. Hey, shout out to Tony Schiavone. He's a national treasure.
Schiavone looks like sometimes like he's just going through it. Like, I can't stand fucking working here. Fuck these people. Oh shit! Here come Tits McGill. Never mind.
You can't say that, man.
I know. I stopped. Here comes that boy's mama.
Nick Wayne, Shayna Wayne. Hey, shout out.
We all know girls named Shayna.
I don't know any Shayna besides Shayna Blazer.
I definitely ain't talking about her. But every woman I've known personally named Shayna, I've enjoyed my time with them.
Okay. Listeners and the viewers, y'all can put two and two together. We don't need to go into further detail on that.
Sure we do. Let's talk about it. So there's one girl named That's all I got, EJ, man. You got anything else you want to give to the people before we get up out of here?
Thank you, everybody, for supporting as always. Like and subscribe, YouTube and Podbean and anywhere you could find the show. And shout out to you, 80 Proof. And we just dropped a Haymaker today, so check out for us on all our platforms.
I'm going to be on a game show on Sunday.
Where?
On Premier Wrestling Network. It's called The Game Event, hosted by Efren Black. I don't know if you know Efren or not, EJ. He's very flamboyant, Efren. No, I've met Efren a few times. Efren's cool. He reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to be on the show. It's gonna be like a trivia type game show, not necessarily trivia, but I'll post all the details when it comes out. I'll be competing with other people in podcasting, but it's pretty big. They're in the little Conrad family tree. So that'll be fun. Hopefully we can gain some listeners from that. You know, maybe people like my personality, or I'll just come off like a pervert like normal.
Yeah. Hopefully the former happens.
But I'll let everybody know what time that's going to be. I think it's like 6 p.m. But I'll definitely be on social media, like letting everybody know how they can watch that if they are so inclined on Sunday. But as far as Boot to the Face, man, that's all we got for this week. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Don't forget, we are now back on Apple. So if that's the way you listen, it is the same feed that it always has been. Go there, leave us a rating if you are so inclined. Share this, like it, tell all your friends about it. And that's all we got for EJ Reed. I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.